Hello students, this is Barkha Gaur from Shiv Jyoti Educational Group Kota. How are you students? I hope you all are fine at your places. So students, in the previous video we have already started our chapter 13, organisms and population. Today we are going to continue with the next topic of this chapter, that is populations. So let's understand the term what is population. So you are familiar with the single individual, children? Single individual means the single individual of any species, we can call it as. But when we talk about the population, we see a group of organisms or group of individuals which are sharing a particular habitat and sharing their resources, or they can interbreed with each other. Okay? And basically normally we talk about sexual reproduction when we talk about the population, but the population may also comprise of the individuals which are reproducing asexually. So we can call population in this way, that population may result due to asexual or sexual reproduction both. Now we will compare population and individual. So when we talk about the individual and when we compare it with population, so we can see that I will show you the comparison between individuals and population. So let's understand it. Individual may comprise birth, death, okay, number of males, number of females. Okay, when we talk about individuals, we consider these terms. But when we talk about population, so we will not say about the birth, we will say birth rate. Birth rate. Similarly, death rate, and not about number of males and females, but we will talk about sex ratio. Okay, I will explain you this term what is sex ratio. So in this way we can compare the individuals and population. Similarly, some more terms या attributes हम पढ़ेंगे जब population के. We will also consider the size of population. Okay, in different terms. So in this way we can compare these two things. Now when we talk about population ecology, so we can see that it is the term which links ecology to population genetics and evolution. A population has certain attributes also. So we will now understand about the attributes of population. We can see that, and as I told you, the attributes which a population have, it is not involved in the individual. An individual may have births and deaths, as I explained you, whereas a population will have birth rate and death rate. Okay? In a population, these rates refer to per capita births and deaths. So birth rate and death rate means that the rates refer to per capita, and the rates hence expressed are change in number, increase or decrease with respect to the members of the population. So we can understand this with the help of an example. Suppose there is a pond in which there is a population of lotus plants. Okay? You can open your book, page number 227. If in a pond there are different lotus plants, suppose 20 lotus plants are there. Okay? And through reproduction, new plants are also produced. Suppose 8 new plants are produced. So now we are going to calculate the birth rate. How can we calculate the birth rate? We will divide new plants by the initially जितनी population थी in plants की. So that will be about 0.4. So this is what birth rate. In this way birth rate can be calculated. ठीक है? Now suppose there is an example, to calculate death rate. Suppose there is a laboratory in which 40 fruit flies are there. So I am telling you how to calculate death rate. Suppose initially 40 fruit flies are present, ठीक है, and by accident or by any reason if 4 of them died, ठीक है, 4 died, then we can calculate death rate by dividing 4 upon 40. That means we will get 0.1 individuals. So in this way we can calculate the death rate. So you saw किस तरह से हम birth rate और death rate को calculate कर सकते हैं. And if we talk about individuals, that means we can count the individuals. Okay. So here what we are discussing about the attributes of population. Population attributes की हम बात कर रहे हैं. तो as I told you, density, natality means birth rate, mortality, that is death rate, and age distribution or growth process, all these are included in the attributes of population. Now another attribute characteristic of population is sex ratio. ठीक है, we are talking about sex ratio. तो how can we calculate sex ratio? An individual is either a male or a female. ठीक है, individual की बात करें तो it may be male or female, but when we talk about population, so it is what we will call it as sex ratio. So we can calculate sex ratio by an example. जैसे example is given कि suppose 60% of the population are females and 40% are males. So we can calculate the ratio. We can divide 60 upon 40. That is 6 upon 4. So 3:2 is the ratio of, that is sex ratio, it is 3:2. So a population at a given time is composed of individuals of different ages. ठीक है, when we talk about the size of the population also, so we will consider different age group persons in this attribute. So how can we do it? Just see. If the age distribution is plotted for the population, हम ये देखना चाहते हैं कि किस तरह से of different age groups we can plot a graph. So you can see in your book this graph is given figure 13.4 में. ठीक है, जब भी हम किसी population की बात करते हैं तो there are in a population there are people or there are individuals of different age group. Clear? So different age group we can divide these into 3 categories. Like some individuals may be of at pre-reproductive age, है ना, कुछ individuals ऐसे होंगे जो pre-reproductive age पे हैं. Some individuals may be in reproductive age and some individuals would be at post-reproductive age, that means which have lost the ability to reproduce. So if we talk about the population, तो ये जो pre-reproductive और reproductive age वाले individuals हैं, they will help in expanding the population. So we can get 3 graphs on the basis, इनको हम age pyramids कहते हैं. On the basis of the individuals of different categories, we can divide these categories or we can get the 3 kinds of pyramids which are called age pyramids. Now we will compare these pyramids. One is expanding, another is stable and declining. So how can we explain the expanding pyramid? Expanding age pyramid है ये. Expanding हम इनको क्यों कह रहे हैं? Because यहाँ पे आप देखो the reproductive और pre-reproductive age वाले जो individuals हैं, they are maximum. ठीक है ना, maximum pre-reproductive means in future they are going to become reproductive, they will be reproducing and they will help in the expanding of population. So the graph when we get of this kind, it is called expanding. Why? Because reproductive and pre-reproductive age वाले individuals ज़्यादा हैं और post-reproductive वाले already कम हैं, which are not involved in the expansion of population. Second graph we will see stable, that means the population will remain stable. How? Because reproductive and pre-reproductive age वाले individuals almost same है. So we can say that the population will remain stable more or less, and post-reproductive एज वाले जो इंडिविजुअल्स हैं दे आर लेस. So the graph which we get from this is the stable. So this kind of age pyramid is a stable pyramid. Third is declining. Why it is declining? Because pre-reproductive जो category है it is less. ठीक है? If we compare it, so they are less in number. So when pre-reproductive age number of individuals of pre-reproductive age are less, तो the population के क्या chances है? It will decline. The population will going to reduce. Similarly, reproductive age वाले भी they are also quite less in number. So that's why we are going to get this kind of age pyramid that is declining. So these are the three kinds of age pyramid which I have explained you. Now you write down one question regarding this topic on page number 227. Write down one question. Draw and explain expanding age pyramid of human population and why it is called so. ठीक है, तो you have to draw, you have to practice for all the three, but in this question it is asked कि you have to draw this expanding age pyramid and why is it called so. So you can give the answer because pre-reproductive and reproductive age वाले जो categories है they are more in number, so it is obvious कि the population is going to expand. Aspect, that is size of the population. So another attribute of population is the size of population. Now when we talk about the size of population, how can we compare it or how can we understand it is that the size of the population tells us a lot about its status of its habitat. That means size of the population will depend on the status of the habitat. How can we understand about the status? That means how much competition is there, how much they are able to get the resources, कितने resources उनके लिए available है, कोई predators, number of predators कितने हैं, that will decide the population size. Similarly, कोई other interference तो नहीं है, suppose application of pesticide will also reduce their number. तो we always generally हम size को कैसे calculate करते हैं, we will count it. ठीक है, we will count the number of individuals present in them. In this way we can normally tell about the size of the population, but it is not always. The size in nature could be. Now we will discuss some examples. You will be underlining these examples also, and we will see that how in different ways we can know the size of the population, and not always by counting their number, but the first example is given in which we will count the number. For example, the size in nature could be as low as 10. Suppose कोई population है, जैसे we are talking about the Siberian cranes which are coming from North Pole to Bharatpur wetlands. So we can see that it is low as or it is less than 10. So we can count this size of the population in number. We will count it and we will tell that this is the size of the population. But if we talk about some microorganisms, so we cannot count them. Suppose Chlamydomonas in a pond, ठीक है, it will, if we count it तो वो millions में जाएगा, तो we cannot, we will consider its biomass. Okay. Similarly, population size can be technically called as population density. तो इसको हम population density के form में भी समझ सकते हैं. It will be designated as n. ठीक है, ये आपको आगे it will be used. तो need not necessarily always measured in number. हमेशा number से इसको count नहीं करेंगे. तो in some cases it is difficult to count in number. या कभी ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि although the number of individuals are more, but what is their role in the ecosystem? If their role in the ecosystem is less, then उसके number ज़्यादा होने से it will not affect. For example, if an area there are 200 Parthenium plants, okay, but only a single huge banyan tree with a large canopy. So although the population of this banyan tree is less, only one tree is there, but its canopy is large and it is harboring, या वो उसके tree के canopy में many individuals or many number of organisms are depending for their livelihood for their on that tree. So it states that the population density of banyan tree is low relative to that of Parthenium. Parthenium 200 है और tree only 1 है, but still we cannot say कि भाई the population या the density of Parthenium is more, because the role of banyan tree is in the community is more. Role of banyan tree is more as compared to Parthenium. ठीक है? So this is one of the example in which number will not matter. In such cases the percent cover or biomass, ठीक है, biomass यहाँ पे matter करेगा. It is more meaningful measure of the population size. So we will here measure with this term biomass. So यहाँ पे total number will not matter. Now another example you can see, suppose we are growing a bacteria in a petri dish. So how can we measure its population? So again we will measure it with the biomass only, we will not count it. Okay. The absolute population, there is no need to know the absolute population densities. Relative densities serve the purpose equally. For example, we will take another example. This is also very important. Fishes, when we catch the fishes, so fishes caught per trap. Okay, fishes caught per trap is good enough measure for its population density in the lake. So to know the population density of the lake, we will just count that how many fishes were caught in one trap. So according to that, we will multiply it. Also there is another method of measuring the population density. You can see, suppose in a sanctuary, wildlife sanctuary mein, when we want to count the number of tigers, so we do not count the actual number of tigers, we just count the pug marks and the fecal pellets found there. Okay, so pug marks of the tiger and fecal pellets, that is waste of those tiger, is used to measure the size of the population. The next topic is population growth. So population growth, as we studied about the population size, similarly population growth is also somewhat like size only. That means the number of individuals in a population are increasing, that is the population growth. So size of the population for any species is not a static parameter. That means the population size is never constant. It will increase or decrease at different times. So different factors which will decide the population growth will depend, that means the growth of population will depend on various factors. For example, availability of food, predation pressure, that means how many predators are present, so according to that only number of prey will remain there, and weather conditions. Weather conditions means if the weather is suitable for them, then their population growth will increase. In fact, it is these changes in the population that give us some idea what is happening. That means the population is increasing or declining. So whether they are flourishing, they are increasing in number, or they are getting reduced. Now the another important thing is, during a given period, the population may fluctuate due to changes in 4 basic processes. The 4 basic processes which help to fluctuate the population are, so these are, you have to remember, natality and immigration. I will explain you what are these. So these, natality means birth rate, and immigration will help to increase the population density, and mortality and emigration, they will lead to decrease in the population growth. So let us understand these terms one by one. So natality means the number of individuals has taken birth. It refers to number of births during a given period in the population that are added to the initial density. तो ये कुछ intrinsic factor भी हम इनको कह सकते हैं कि natality will increase the number of individuals. Mortality is the number of deaths in the population during a given period. So mortality is the death rate, natality is the birth rate. Immigration. Suppose there is a population, and if some individuals are coming from another habitat into that population or into that habitat, so that will be called as immigration. So mark it, immigration is the number of individuals of the same species that have come into the habitat from elsewhere, from somewhere else during that time period. And the fourth one is emigration. So emigration is the number of individuals of the population which are leaving that habitat. If some of the individuals are leaving and going somewhere else, so that will be called as emigration. So these are the four factors which fluctuate the population growth. Now let us understand this figure which is given in your book. The population density, which is denoted by N, is determined by these four factors: natality, birth rate. Natality means birth rate. So if natality is increasing, it will increase the population density. Similarly, immigration will also lead to increase in population density. That plus plus यहाँ पे sign लगे हुए, that means they are increasing the population density. And mortality and emigration. Mortality means number of deaths in unit time, they will reduce the population, and emigration will also reduce the population. Now with the help of this, we can get an equation. एक equation है, this you have to remember, it is very important. If n is the population density at time t, we are denoting population density by n, then its density at time t plus 1, that means after some time the density will be time will be t plus 1. So we can calculate the population density at time t plus 1 by this equation. So you mark this equation and learn it. So how can we calculate? Nt plus 1 is equals to Nt plus birth plus means natality plus immigration. So this will be more, this will increase the number of population minus death plus emigration. So by this equation we can calculate the population size at time t plus 1. Now if we understand this, how can you can see from the above equation that population density will increase if the number of births plus number of immigrants is more than the number of deaths plus number of emigrants. So this will calculate the population density. So under normal conditions, births and deaths are the important factors influencing the population density. So birth and death will decide the growth of population. So these are the two factors. For instance, if a new habitat is just being colonized, suppose एक नया कोई habitat है where some individuals have just arrived, so immigration will lead to increase in the population. Here immigration will matter. Next topic is growth models. Growth models को हम कैसे समझ सकते हैं बच्चों? So we will get two kinds of graphs. We will be studying two kinds of growths that are called growth models. So we already know that the growing population of human is a matter of concern. So we need to understand these growth models with the help of this graph. First of all is exponential growth. What do you mean by exponential growth? Exponential means if there is one individual, then it becomes 2, just get doubling, it is exponential. So exponential growth कब होगी? Exponential growth will be then when resources are unlimited. So when we talk about exponential growth, we can see the exponential growth. Darwin also explained this thing. Darwin observed while developing his theory of natural selection, when we was explaining his theory of natural selection, he observed that if the resources are unlimited, so the growth of population grows exponentially. That means population is increasing exponentially. So resource, food and space availability is obviously essential for unimpeded growth, means unrestricted, without any obstruction, growth of population will increase. So when resources in the habitat are unlimited, each species has the ability to realize fully its innate population to grow, potential to grow. तो So we can say that the population will grow in geometric fashion, that means exponentially. If in a population of size n, suppose there is a population size which we are denoting with n, the birth rates are represented as b. Just underline this line. Suppose n is used to denote population size, b for birth rate and d for death rate. Then the increase or decrease in n, ठीक है, ये birth rate or death rate will decide या will are responsible for the increase or decrease in the population density during a unit time period. So it will be T into dn upon dt. It will be in this way, dn upon dt. What is this dn upon dt? We can call it as delta. Okay, delta, that means change in population in after a time. Okay, so delta n is the change in population and dt is the after a particular time. So it will be expressed as birth minus death into n. Now this b minus d can be denoted with the r. What is this r? It is the intrinsic rate of natural increase. So here in this equation, r is what? Intrinsic rate of natural increase. So intrinsic rate दो है, birth and death. So these will determine the size of the population. So it is very important parameter, r is very important parameter to find out the size of the population, and biotic and abiotic factor also will decide. So the equation we get is dn upon dt is equals to r into n. In this way we can calculate, if we know the birth rate and death rate, we can calculate the value of r also, or we can determine the size of the population also. For example, some magnitudes of r, कुछ values दी हुई हैं, so that you can have an idea of this r. जैसे नॉर्वे में रैट की r की वैल्यू है 0.015. Similarly, the floor beetle, it is 0.12, and the r value for human population in India was 0.0205 in 1981. So this is how we can calculate the value of r if we know the death rate and birth rate. Now we'll talk about the graph. किस तरह का graph हमें मिलेगा? Which kind of graph we will get if the population of growth is increasing exponentially? अगर exponentially increase हो रही है growth, so which kind of graph we are going to get? So this you can see in figure 13.6. So as I told you, it is exponential growth की हम जब बात कर रहे हैं, तो you can see here, after a particular time, as the time is passing, the population density is increasing. So we'll talk about this red line. ठीक है, red line is showing that the population is increasing exponentially when the resources are unlimited. So this, the graph which we are getting is कैसा shape है ये? J shape. Okay, we are getting graph of J shape. That means when the time is increasing, population density is increasing, and it is increasing exponentially. And this can be calculated, or this can be denoted by this equation, that is dn upon dt equals to r into n. So this is the graph which we got. Now the next thing is, if we have some knowledge of calculus, so we can express this equation dn upon dt equals to r into n by this equation also, that is nt equals to n0 e to the power rt. Now what are these components of equation? Nt is the population density after time t, n0 is population density at time 0. That means initially the population density was n0, and after time t it is denoted by nt. R, we know it is the intrinsic rate of natural increase, and E is the base of natural logarithm. Its value is given 2.7828. So with this equation also we can calculate the exponential growth of the population. So any species growing exponentially under unlimited resources conditions can reach enormous population densities in a short time. So, it is told by Darwin also that suppose although the animal may like elephant, so if they are also getting unlimited resources, their population may also increase exponentially. Now, the second type of growth is logistic growth. तो वी कैन से कि जो एक्सपोनेंशियल ग्रोथ थी इट इज़ नॉट अ रियलिस्टिक ग्रोथ, एक्चुअली रियल में ऐसा होता नहीं है. तो एक्चुअल ग्रोथ कैसी होती है? लॉजिस्टिक ग्रोथ, बिकॉज रिसोर्सेज आर नेवर unlimited. Sometime resources will get finished or they will reduce as the population will consume it. So, logistic growth we will see how its graph is made. So, logistic growth is made or we get the logistic growth when the resources are limited. So, you can see, you can mark unlimited resources तो exponential growth के लिए हो जाएगा and it will lead to competition and the resources will slowly get limited. In nature, a given habitat has enough resources to support a maximum possible number beyond which no further growth is possible. So, a population growing in a habitat with limited resources show initially a lag phase. We will see the graph also. तो starting में जब resources हैं, है ना, the availability of resources there, so there will be starting with the lag phase followed by a phase of acceleration and deceleration and finally a asymptote condition is reached. तो देखिए, understand it with the graph. हमने जो ग्राफ देखा था पहले, this blue line is showing logistic growth. So, initially the rate of growth is slow, this much is called lag phase, then it is fast, the speed is increasing and then this is asymptote condition aa jati hai, that means the resources are now reducing. ठीक है. Now, here one factor is there, carrying capacity. So, carrying capacity, the equation which we are getting is same equation थी, but there ये K आपको जो दिख रहा है, K is denoting what? Carrying capacity. That means now the resources are getting limited. So, this will apply a brake on the population. So, it can be expressed by dN upon dt equals to Rn, which we got here, and then K minus N. K is what? Carrying capacity minus population size upon again carrying capacity. So, these two graphs we are getting, this is very important. I will give you question related to this graph in our live session. So, you just remember both the equations, A or B, both the graphs you have to remember.